Today I'll be talking about the lineup, basically how you should be building your team. I'll have the three main elements. I'm gonna have water, wind, and fire based off the three main heroes, which is Sasuke, Sakura, and Naruto. And then I have it into sub-genres based off those elements, because you always want to have yin and yang on your team. But if you can't have that, then what's the most effective way to have your lineup is you want to have, say, water. And if you can't have yin and yang, you're going to want to have lightning. This is going to sound weird, but the element that's super effective against the element that's super effective against yours, if you have both of those, then you get even more power, and it's a really good element bonus. So earth is super effective against water, so you're gonna want lightning that's super effective against earth. Say you're doing wind, fire is super effective against wind, so you're gonna want to have wind and water. And if you're going fire, you're gonna want to have fire and earth. If that is hard to follow, then I'm sorry, but I feel like I kind of explained it, and if you see the picture, it's pretty self-explainable. First off is wind with yin and yang. To have this team, you should be having Naruto, Zetsu, Kabuto, Gaara, and Kimimaro. Of course, you can switch people around, that's completely acceptable, but basically you want to have a team like this. You're going to want to have two controls, a support, a tank, and an attack. That is very important. And you want to have at least two of the same element, unless it's yin and yang. Because yin can be alone with only one and still have an elemental bonus, same with yang. So you can have like 4 wind with 1 yin or 4 wind with 1 yang. You can do that and it'll still be pretty effective. And I'm going to explain every pick a little bit further so you can understand how good the character is, if you should be using it, and why you should be using it. First off is going to be Zetsu. He's a pretty solid pick, just in general. He's a good control, and he can root the entire team, plus he heals himself a lot. So overall, he's not really a pushover, but he's just not like an event character. Then it's Kabuto. I can't even explain to you how good Kabuto is. He is physically the best A partner you can get. He will heal your entire team, and all you really have to do is buy him in the shop. You need to buy 50 shards, but it's only 5 times. And then once the week is over, you can buy him again. So you're guaranteed him just by playing for 2 weeks. It is so essential to buy him in the shop that I can't even express this to you. You should be getting him on every account without fail. He is always an important character to have. Plus, his ult is only on like a 35-second cooldown. So basically, he'll be healing your team constantly. You will never die with him on your team. Gaara is a pretty solid pick. He's probably top tier in A. He's also attack, and you should always have at least 1 attack in your lineup. So that's pretty essential to have, and since he can do it, I put him here, even though he's A. He also has really good feathers, so that will help his power out a lot. And then finally, Kimimaro is the last one. He is probably, besides Kabuto, the best, A. But I don't know about that, since Jugo's not officially out, you can't get him yet. I feel like Jugo will be really good, but I just have no idea, and he's not out yet, so I didn't put him on this. But Kimimaru's ult alone makes him completely worth getting. When he uses it, he gains crit resistance for 10 seconds, he deals a shit ton of damage, and he will taunt all enemies in just 1 ult, and it's only a 25-second cooldown. He's simply just built different. And like I said, this will be in 2 subparts. So that was the water yin and yang, and this will be wind yin and yang, and this will be the wind water. For wind water, you're gonna want to have usually Naruto, Zetsu, Kisame, Suigetsu, and Gaara. Now to save you the fact that I'm gonna be probably saying the same characters a lot, I'm gonna just say this now. I won't be going over the same character, why it's good, that I've already gone over. So if we put Kabuto back on this, I'm not gonna praise Kabuto again. I'm not gonna keep going over characters that I've already went over. So Kisame, he's pretty good. He's an S, so you should be using him all the time, unless you already have a whole team of S's that are better, or Kabuto. So he's controlled, but he's still a very solid pick. Then we have Suigetsu, since you're not going to be getting any tank out of wind unless you have Naruto Shippunen. And if you don't have Naruto Shippunen, you're going to have a water tank, which will be Suigetsu. He's not the best tank for A, but he's a pretty good pick for A. Next we have Fire Yin and Yang. So for this, you're going to want to have Sasuke, Kabuto, Kimimaru, Minato, and Light Guy. Sasuke for fire since you're going fire, but if you have Shippunen Sasuke, that's way better. You should definitely use that. Kabuto for the same reasons above, I won't be going over it. Now, if you're doing this, you should always do the Minato event in general. He's such a great character, and if you saw my 15 things I wish I knew already, then you should already know this, but if you haven't, you should always be saving your gold for events. Events are so essential to have an event character on your team. I can't explain this enough. Like, event characters are significantly better than all the other characters. That's just how it is. They are just straight up better. The next is for my guy, just so you have that fire bonus, and you get him for free. He's a good S, he's very solid pick, you should be playing him. And then we have Fire Earth. So this is gonna be Inoki, Deidara, Sasuke, Mike Guy, and Hidan. Inoki is 100% the best S out of the ones you can summon, the core 5. So he shields your entire team and he does a devastating ult. So overall, he is a great S to have, and if you get him, you could definitely use him with Fire Earth. Then we have Deidara. He's a decent support. His ult deals good damage and makes a person that he hits take more damage for 10 seconds. Overall, a pretty solid ultimate. Next up is Water with Yin and Yang. For this, you can have Sakura, Mei, Kisame, Kimimaru, and Sasori. Now, people sleep on Sakura. She's really bad in the show, but in this game, she's actually a really good hero. She does good damage and she heals your entire team like every time. If you get a S Water, you should very highly consider using her. Now, I use Mei for a long time. Mei is pretty good. If you get her, you should be using her. Her ult does a lot of damage, so she's pretty good, to be honest. Since S base stats are just better than most A's, I put Kisame up here. He's not the best S, but you know, he's pretty good in general, but I mean, he's just not an event character, to be honest. And finally, Sasori, since you need an attack and he is attack, so this way you have 4 water and 1 yin. That'll be really good for an elemental bonus, and he's a pretty good attack, so he's not a bad pick. Now finally is Water Lightning. So for this lineup I said Sakura, Killer Bee, Kisame, Sasori, and Kankuro. Now Killer Bee is definitely the worst out of the 5 you can summon, but he's a tank and you're gonna need one, and he's overall he's better than most of the A's. Not much A's are better than Killer Bee, so you should use him if you get him. And then the last one that I have not spoken about is Kankuro. He does a good amount of damage, but he was nerfed a lot. He had another 20 seconds added to his ultimate, so it's a little rough, but he's still a pretty viable option. If you enjoy watching Ninja Awakening content and you got this far, consider subscribing. I'll continue making new videos about this game. So yeah, that's it, and goodbye.